Am I the astronaut for canceling a date? OP, if you're here and you want to claim your story, you know what to do. I, 29 male, recently canceled a date with this girl I met online. We had been talking for a few weeks and planned to meet in person. Some of the conversations we had been having were kind of up and down, whereas it appeared some days she didn't want to talk and was extremely short with me, and others where she was really into conversation. There was also a point where she said I failed a test I didn't even know I was taking. Basically, she initiated a lot of our conversations once we exchanged numbers, and one day after I sent the last message, she didn't reply. This went on for the rest of that day and the next. My thoughts were she may have lost interest or she's just busy, but in my view, the last one who sends a message should get some type of response, but I could be wrong. Anyway, she said it was a common tactic used in talking stages to gauge people's interest by talking to them and then just stopping to see if they initiate. That was probably on me, but I will admit that I had been busy at work that week with multiple trainings, and it didn't really cross my mind to talk to her those days. And I was talking to no one else either because I was so busy. As of writing this, I canceled the date, and here's why. We are having a conversation about my nephew, 4 months old, and I talked about how he was my little buddy and how much I love him. I'm single and I have no kids, and he's one of the very few males in our family, so naturally having a boy in the family is pretty exciting. A few close friends I have consider me as family, as I consider them. So they tell their kids I'm their uncle, and so I also have a niece, 1-year-old. However, more recently I've been talking about the slight bias I have towards my nephew, but it was mostly because he was immediate family and did not make me love my niece, best friend's daughter, any less. I was explaining to the girl I was talking to my bias towards my nephew and why, and she remarked, I see that you have a biased, insert slightly concerned emoji face. Glad your sister had a boy and not a girl. This set me off because I explained my bias to her, and she somehow took it that I would have loved the child less if my nephew was a girl. That's not true, and I took a real offense to that because if I have been blessed as I have to be part of something I love and their child's life, there is nothing that is going to change that love, be it they are a boy or girl. We argued and she apologized, but I still went on to cancel the date because I felt that was a really insensitive insinuation to make that I would have loved my nephew any less if he were a girl. So, am I the astronaut? Edit! This probably doesn't really need to be in, but my nephew is adopted, but that still doesn't change how much I love him. His story is a little bit long, but basically when he was first born, he was extremely neglected and was on death's doorstep and somehow pulled through. I commend my sister and her fiance for giving him a second chance at life. The question is, am I the astronaut for canceling a date? And the answer to that is N-T-A. Who the f wants to feel like they're constantly being tested? You failed a test. It's a common tactic to gauge someone's interest. Sorry, I didn't realize this was a test. I thought it was a conversation. This is a game girl. She wants to play games no matter what. And yes, she's like, how quick to judge can you be? She sets up a test or makes a diluted observation and is like, oh yeah, this judgment. Judgment, 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 judgment. She gets the bizzo. Very judgy, this one. Yeah, I think you're dodging a bullet here. I think you not going on this date is for the best. You have enough signs already to know that you would be miserable for the rest of your life because the tests and the games would never end. And if they did, she would get bored and do something even dumber. NTA. This was another game. It was another test. And her saying what she said was probably in another test because she knew it wasn't true. She was just seeing how you reacted to and handled that situation, and you failed that one too. It was another test you didn't know you were taking. You know what test you did pass? Canceling the date. Good job.